Alejandro Garnacho got everything he wanted, and it brought intense scrutiny and pressure. At 21 years and 152 days old, he became the youngest South American ever to make 100 Premier League appearances. That milestone should have been the beginning. A generational talent, a club legend in the making, a future captain. That's what everyone said. So how did the same player end up loaned out at 22, dropped from a World Cup squad, and publicly branded a disgrace by the man who developed him? This criticism isn't coming from bitter rival fans outside the building. It comes directly from his own academy chief, his managers, and his international coaching staff. These are the coaches and former players who evaluated his discipline. The trouble started before most people noticed. Back in November 2022, manager Erik ten Hag and Bruno Fernandes both confirmed publicly that Garnacho had been benched during the preseason tour for a poor attitude and repeated lateness. These weren't rumors or leaks. His own manager and his own teammate went on record. He was a teenager, sure, but the pattern that started there never actually stopped. It just got louder and louder, and then unbearable. If any of this is already shocking you, subscribe to this channel. Every week there's another story that football media glosses over, and this one deserves the full picture. April 2024. Manchester United drew 2-2 with Bournemouth, and ten Hag substituted Garnacho at halftime. Garnacho's response was to go on his phone and like posts from a YouTuber claiming his manager was scared of senior players and was actively ruining the young winger's career. 2 tweets. That's all it took. He didn't say a word in public. He just hit the heart button, and the entire dressing room knew exactly what he thought of his manager. Ten Hag dealt with the matter internally, confirming Garnacho apologized. The relationship never recovered. Think about what that actually takes. You're 19 years old, you play for Manchester United, and instead of walking into the manager's office, you air your grievances on social media by liking attack posts about your own coach. That reveals a specific personality, rather than just a kid making a mistake. The gorilla emoji incident from October 2023 showed the same recklessness. Garnacho posted a picture of goalkeeper Andre Onana alongside 2 gorilla emojis. The Football Association launched an investigation. The only reason the situation didn't end worse was because Onana, the victim of the post, defended him publicly, and the FA eventually dropped the matter. Garnacho got away with it. And getting away with things over and over might be exactly what broke him, because nobody ever made it cost him enough. Then came May 2024. After United's FA Cup win, Garnacho personally invited American YouTube streamer iShowSpeed into Manchester United's private after-party at the Marriott Hotel in Mayfair. Staff who had worked the match, non-playing employees, had their own celebration event canceled because of cost-cutting measures at the club. The players partied in Mayfair with an internet personality. The workers went home. That story went everywhere, and it told you something about how Garnacho understood the difference between his world and everyone else's. The Cristiano Ronaldo obsession made things worse in ways that cut across nationalities. Angel Di Maria, one of Argentina's greatest ever players, told reporters in early 2024 that he regularly pulled Garnacho aside to stop copying Ronaldo's goal celebrations and to model himself after Lionel Messi instead. He did this because he saw what was happening inside the Argentina squad, not because the celebrations were offensive. Players were getting irritated. The superstar posturing from someone still proving himself was creating distance. Di Maria was trying to save the kid's international career. Garnacho kept doing the celebrations anyway. Nicky said it plainest. In April 2026, United's former academy chief came out and told the media that Garnacho's attitude during his time at Old Trafford was a disgrace. Butt said Garnacho got a superstar mentality far too quickly and added the warning that if Garnacho had played in United's older eras, senior players would have treated him really badly and taken him out in training. That's not a throwaway comment. Nicky knows what dressing rooms look like when they turn on a player. He played in the most famous one in English football history. When he uses the word disgrace, you listen. £40 million. Chelsea paid Manchester United £40 million for Garnacho in August 2025, and that fee deserves its own examination. United wanted more. Garnacho forced the move by making it clear he would only sign for Chelsea, which stripped United of any negotiating position. The club that developed him, the academy that gave him a career, watched him publicly maneuver himself to their direct competition at a reduced price because he decided he wanted out. United had no choice. He made sure of that. The Chelsea year was a catastrophe. His performance during the season was widely criticized. 1. Across his appearances in all competitions, his total goal output was closely scrutinized. The management at Stamford Bridge assessed what they had. By July 23, 2026, he was loaned out to Aston Villa with a conditional obligation to buy attached. Gone from Chelsea in under a year. If you're finding this as wild as it actually is, hit like on this video. Genuinely, it helps more people find this story. Leaving Stamford Bridge, Garnacho gave his first Aston Villa interview and told reporters he wanted to join a club that would help me try to be the player I was years ago. He said that. About his time at Chelsea, the club he transferred to after burning his relationship with Manchester United. That comment is either completely self-unaware or deliberately pointed. Neither one looks good. His brother Roberto made everything worse in September 2025 when Chelsea lost to Manchester United and Roberto launched into a public social media war with United fans. He told one female supporter, verbatim, "You weigh 150 kilograms, go to the gym instead of wasting your time texting me." The post spread instantly. Alejandro's situation was further complicated by public social media activity from his inner circle, which meant he either agreed with it or couldn't control the people around him. Both are problems. And then Argentina. May 2026, Lionel Scaloni announced the final 26-man squad for the FIFA World Cup. Garnacho's name was not on it. 1 goal in the Premier League all season. Barely any international minutes to point to. Scaloni looked at the numbers, looked at the attitude reports, and left him out. Garnacho watched from home as Argentina reached the World Cup final and lost 1-0 to Spain. 0 minutes at a World Cup at the age of 22. Former PGMOL chief Keith Hackett had already named him the worst simulation offender in the Premier League in November 2025. His on-field reputation matched everything being said about him off it. This is the part that should hit the hardest. Garnacho chose Argentina over Spain in March 2022, turning his back on the country where he was born and raised, selecting his mother's birth nation to chase the dream of the biggest stage in world football. He made that sacrifice, built toward that moment for years, and when the World Cup actually arrived in 2026, he wasn't in the squad. The country he chose someone else. Every attitude problem, every social media post, every burned bridge with a manager fed directly into that moment. His own record cost him the World Cup, rather than bad luck or a rival fan's decision. People don't hate Alejandro Garnacho for his talent, his celebrations, or his nationality decision. They hate him because of the accumulating evidence that a player with every advantage kept making the same choices, kept damaging every relationship that mattered, and kept acting like the talent was enough to cover it. Nicky called it a disgrace. Scaloni cut him from the World Cup. Xabi Alonso loaned him out. 3 different coaches, 3 different countries, 3 different institutions, all arriving at the same conclusion. At 22 years old, Alejandro Garnacho is starting over at Aston Villa with his reputation in pieces, a World Cup dream he'll never get back, and a transfer fee that reminded everyone how much leverage he actually had at Manchester United before he threw it away. The talent is still there. Everyone knows he can play football. The only question now is whether he has actually learned anything. And right now, nothing in his track record gives you any reason to believe he has. If this landed the way it should have, like and subscribe. There are more stories exactly like this one. Players with everything handed to them who found a way to burn it, and none of them get told with the full picture.